Hi, this is Ginger from My Sister Scrapper. Today I want to share a little project that I created. I created this project actually about 5 years ago, and someone had left a comment recently on that video wanting to know the measurements, and of course, I mean, 5 years, I have no clue how much to measure, what the measurements were, so I decided to go back and recreate this, and I wrote everything down, and so I'm going to show you what I made, and then I'm going to do a tutorial at the end, and we'll make one together. So I used the Graphic 45, what did I use? Graphic 45 Gilded Lily paper collection. Okay. And I had a bunch of scraps left over from a class. I had made a mini album and I taught a class at my local scrapbook store, so I had a whole bunch of scraps left over. So this paper is so pretty and it's just divine. So what I did was, on the front, I layered a couple of the design papers here, and then I cut out a doily. And for this doily, I'm going to show you some of the products that I use because I have a lot of people ask. The doily is actually a little die, and there's a set of 4. This is the largest one, and that's the one I used on the front cover. And these are from My Creative Time for me, and there's a set of 4 in this set. And this is the smallest one, and then this is the next smallest one, and then there's a third size. So you get 4 dies in the one set, and they're actually my favorite dies. I use them all the time. So those are the dies that I used for this. And what you do is, this is the back here, and I used this really cute corner rounder that I have, and it's from Stampin' Up, and it's a new one actually. It's this right here, and you actually get 3 different punches on it. You get this cute design here, and then you also get a scallop design as well. So basically you just put it in here like this, and this is the scallop one. And you punch and you get that cute scallop, and over here is the one that I used, which is right here. And then it also makes this cute little notch if you want to run like at the top of a tag to put some ribbon through. So that just goes in at the top like this, and you just punch. So it's really cute because you get 3 different punches on one. So that's what I used for the decorative edges. And the seam binding that I have here is actually from Stampin' Up, and the color is Crumb Cake. And I did put a cute little tag on here that says For You, and this little tag is a little miniature tag from Martha Stewart. And the little For You stamp set is from Cards TV Stamps, and it's actually a Christmas stamp, Christmas Joy, and the little For You is right down here at the bottom. So, because I wanted a For You stamp, and that was the closest one I could find that would fit on here. So you open it up, and on the inside I die cut this cute little word Sweet, and that is from this little die and stamp set. And again, this is from My Creative Time, and this is called Sweet Wishes. You get a bunch of little words that go with it, and then the word die is sweet. So I put that there, and then I stamped the word Friend, and that's a Stampin' Up stamp. So over here is a little pocket that holds the tea bag, and again, this is the small little die that I showed you, and it says You Are Tea-rific, and that is actually a new stamp set from Stampin' Up. Well, here's the stamp set that has the friend on it. It's called Postage Collection. I'm not sure if it's still available. It might be discontinued, but it's one I had in my stash. And here's this one that says You Are Tea-rific, and this is from a nice cuppa, and it's the Stampin' Up stamp set, and this is brand new. It just came out in their spring catalog, so this one's really fun. It has some matching dies that go with it as well. So this is a tea bag holder, and again I layered some of the design paper here, and then I used my envelope punch board and made the little notch, and then it does hold a cute little tea bag, and this is what I had in my cupboard, so it's a Twinings tea. So that just slides in there. So anyway, I thought it was really cute, so I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to redo this. And I did put some design paper here to cover up my seam binding on the sides. So I made a second one, and on this one I added some bling, and I fussy cut the Gilded Lily, and I just went ahead and layered the design paper here. And this is from the 6x6 paper pad of the Gilded Lily, and there's the back. And I used the same Crumb Cake colored seam binding. And I added 3 little bling here, and I like to use this bling from Stampin' Up because you get 3 different sizes in a package, so that's kind of fun. And then my little tag that I tied it on, I used the linen thread. I really like the Mayarts twine, but it's kind of hairy, if you know what I mean. So the linen thread was really nice because it doesn't shred. So this one opens like this. And I left this one plain on this side. I used some of the word paper here, another strip of the border paper, and then again I went ahead and layered some of the design paper on top of each other, and then I had a border strip that I thought was really cute, and then I used a small little doily again, and then I used a butterfly, and the butterfly is this little triple butterfly punch from Martha Stewart as well. I used the 2 small ones on the front cover and this one right here, and then I added a little bling here in the middle, and again there's the little tea bag. So that's what we're going to make. I want to make a set of 3, so I have 2 of them done, so I thought we would make the 3rd one together. So here we go. Let's get started. I went ahead and pre-cut everything, and I do have the measurements in the description box of the video, so you will be able to write those down. I gave you the measurements for the 2 pieces of cardstock that you need, and then obviously just you'll need to measure whatever design paper you want to put on the outside. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got this piece of cardstock right here. There's my tea bag, which is the base of the little tea bag holder, and this piece measures 4 by 8.5, and we're going to put it in here on the 8.5, and the 4 is going this way, and we're going to score at 4 inches, and then we're going to score again at 4.5 inches. So that's all the scoring we're going to do on that particular piece. And then for the pocket on the inside to hold the little bag of tea, this piece measures 4 by 6.25. And on the 4-inch side, we're going to score at 3.5. And flip it all the way around and score it at 3.5 again. So you're scoring it at 3.5 on both sides, basically a 1/2 inch on both sides. And you're going to take it and you're going to rotate it this way, and you're going to score at 3.5 on this side as well. So you got your 6.25 at the top. We're going to score at 3.5. Okay, so we are done with our scoreboard. We're going to put that away. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our little bone folder here, and we're going to fold our score lines. We'll fold this one first. So there's that, and now we're going to go ahead and fold this one. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fold that up, and then what we want to do in order to make the pocket is we want to take our scissors and we want to trim off these 2 long 1/2 inch pieces right here. So you can either use your scissors or your paper trimmer. I'm going to go ahead and just use my scissors. Hopefully I'll cut straight. So we're going to cut that. So we're going to take that off on this side, and again, when you fold it up, it's the long piece. So we're going to do that on the other side here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our little corner rounder, because I'm going to make them pretty similar here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in here, and I'm going to punch the 2 top edges of my pocket like this, and then I'm going to punch the 2 outside edges of my holder. Cute. Okay, so we're done with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make our pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and put my score tape on my 2 1/2 inch flaps. And again, I like to put my score tape on first and then fold my corners. You can trim your corners first and then put your tape on if you don't want to waste any of your score tape, but I like to do it this way. So we're going to just angle our corners here like this. Just makes it fold easier. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and fold in on those. And now this is going to fold up just like this. But before I do that, I want to make my little notch here. And you really don't need to because you can get the tea bag out. It just looks, I think, kind of cute. So I'm going to go ahead and get my little envelope punch board here so I can notch the edges. So this should measure 3 inches. So we're going to put half of 3 inches would be 1.5. So I'm going to stick that fold at the 1.5 line, and I'm going to punch. So that's right in the middle, and then we're going to fold that up. Super cute. So we can go ahead and take our backing off of our tape and make our pocket. And then we'll go ahead and put our ribbon and paper on. Okay. So our pocket's done. So let's set that aside for now. And we are going to go ahead and put our design paper on, but before we do that, we want to put our ribbon down. So I'm going to use the same ribbon to stay consistent with the other two that I made, and I kind of like to make it long, just so I know I have enough to tie a bow. And with seam binding, it is kind of delicate. It doesn't frays really kind of bad, so I'm going to tie a knot in the ends like I did the other two. So I think that looks about right. Just eyeballing it here, no direct measurement. You just use whatever you think is the best. And the seam binding again is from Stampin' Up, and it's 1/2 inch seam binding, and the color is Crumb Cake. I love this color. It's one of my favorites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and run some 3/8 of an inch score tape, or you can use 1/4 inch or whatever you have. I just want to put some score tape down to put my ribbon on. So I'm going to find the center of my ribbon. I'm going to bring the two ends together. And that's pretty close. And just kind of give it a little pinch there. It kind of leaves a little seam, and I'm going to put that right there. So that looks pretty good. Now you can get your ruler out and mark the center if you want to keep it straight. I'm just going to put a little pencil mark here where I think it needs to be, where I think is center. And same with this one. And that looks pretty good to me, so we'll put a little pencil mark there. Okay, so now I'm going to get my score tape, and I'm going to run a piece of score tape right on the top, and this is on the front of my book. I like to put my ribbon on the outside front, so that way it doesn't pull away from the paper. And I want to get it as close to the edge as I can, so I'm going to cut it with the scissors instead of trying to tear it. Okay, and we'll give that a good burnish. Remove the backing, and we're going to put our ribbon down. There's my little seam mark right there. I'm going to put that first, and put that one down, and put that side down. So there you go, really cute. Now we can go ahead and put our papers on the outside. So I'm going to use the blue papers this time, and I went ahead and pre-cut everything. So the front and back cover measures 4 by 4, so I cut my design paper to 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. But what am I going to do about this little notch? So I kind of made it like a giant ticket stub. I went ahead and laid my paper down the way I wanted. Make sure I have it right side up. No, I didn't. I had it upside down. And I just kind of laid it down there where leaving the same amount of border all the way around. And then I just kind of held it down, and then I flipped it over. It's not perfect, but it's close enough for me. And I just drew a little line here inside of my design here on my 1/4 rounder, so that way I know where to cut it. And to cut it, I just took a 1 inch circle punch and put it in here. and lined the edge, so I've got the lines, my pencil marks, and I'm going just outside those pencil lines and just making it look like a giant ticket stub. So that's the first one. And let's see how we did. Again, it's not perfect, but pretty darn close, and I'm good with that. So let's do the other side as well. I should have marked it while I had it this. Oh, I did. Jeez, I didn't even know I did it. Alrighty then. See, I'm smarter than I thought sometimes. Okay. So we have, oopsie, flip it back over. We have that one done. I'm good with that. Let's see if it fits on this side better. Let's try this side. This one's a little wonky. I'm going to take a little bit more on this one. Okay. Put it back the way I originally had it, because I think this was my front. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, so we got that one done. Now we're going to do the same thing to the back piece. Again, I'm going to lay it down. Flip it over. And mark it with my pencil. And make my little notches. Again, I've got my little pencil lines just inside the cut area, just to make it look like a giant ticket stub. Okay, so that's going to go there. Oops, you know it's going to go here. And this one's going to go here. Okay. So since we're punching, we might as well mark the two that are going to go on the inside. And so on the inside, I'm going to have the same design. So I'm going to lay it on here. Make sure it's right side up. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell on this fleur-de-lis stuff, so I have to look and see what the back side looks like. I'm thinking that's good right there. And pencil mark. And this one's going to go over here. So next what we're going to do is I'm going to glue these down, but I do want to ink my edges, and I'm going to use Tim Holtz Free Burlap. It goes really well with the Gilded Lily collection. So I'm going to ink my edges first, and then we'll glue them down. So we're going to go ahead and glue these down, and because of these little corners here, I want to make sure they get attached really well. I am going to go ahead and use some score tape along the outside. So I'm going to glue the inside ones down first. piece. So we're going to go ahead and put this piece down first. Okay, so we got the inside pieces done. We're going ahead and flip it over and put the ones on the front cover. Again, I'm going to put score tape around and use that, so I want to make sure the edges get stuck really well. So I'm going to put the back piece on first. And front. Okay, so now you can leave the spine like this, just the ribbon, but I kind of cut a couple of little strips to add in there, and I made these, since this is a 1/2 inch, I made these 3/8 of an inch, so I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. There's that one. And now I'm going to do the one on the inside. Oops. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put our pocket on here like this. So I like to attach my pocket with score tape, so I'm going to go ahead and put score tape along the back here, but I'm not going to take the backing off, because then we're going to put our papers on the front. So what I'm going to do on this piece is I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to put this on here like this. And then I'm going to put this little strip, I think, on there like this. And then I'm going to add this little doily here, and I think I'll put a little butterfly on there like I did on the other one. Okay, so I'm going to ink that. And I'm going to ink this. But I do want to cut a notch to match this, and this is 2 3/4. So I need to put that in the center so it'll line up with the other one at 1 3/8. That's the center. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put this down. I'm just going to use my ATG gun for this. Cute. And then I'm going to put the little crowns on the inside, but again I want to go ahead and mark them so they look like the other pieces. That'll work. And hopefully I can see my pencil marks on this. It's dark blue on the back side. So again, I'm going to take my 1-inch circle punch and notch the corners. I need to trim that off too. Should have trimmed that before. Okay, we're going to put this piece in. And again, I like to put it in here to cover up those little flaps that we had. There we go. Now we're going to put this piece on. I think I'm going to put that on with some dimensional foam tape. I got my Gigano roll here that I buy at Amazon because I use a lot of it. Need a little more. Just eyeballing the center here. That looks good. Perfect. I'm going to put that on there. Just my ATG gun. Okay. And we're going to add this cute little butterfly. And again, this is from the Martha Stewart Triple Butterfly Punch. It's one of my favorites. I like to use my Martha Stewart. It's like a ballpoint glue pen. So it's like a ballpoint pen for glue. It's great for these little tiny things. You just roll it out. And I buy that at Michael's. Okay, so we're just going to put my butterfly in the center and stick her down. Oopsie. You do get a little wiggle room with this glue, so that's kind of nice. That looks good. I will take the back off and put it on our inside of our tea bag holder. So that's going to go, I'm putting it over to this side farther here and just doing the 3 sides even around. That looks good. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and I think I'm going to put a little bling on that butterfly. I could use my little Tim Holtz pick. that I use for my die cuts, but it works good to pick these little things up. Here we go. Okay, that looks pretty cute. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to do our front cover. For the front cover, I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on here like this, but I am going to just round the corners with my 1/4 inch corner rounder. 1/4 inch. I'm going to do this one this way. So that's going to go there, and then this one is going to go on the back, and I'll round the opposite corners. Okay, just like that. I'll get my ink out. And I think I'm going to glue the back side flat down, but I think on the front, I'm going to use some foam tape. And this piece measures, I think it was 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. There we go. Love the crowns. I mean, what woman doesn't love a crown, right? All right. Now I'm going to use my handy dandy foam tape to put this up. And I'm just going to cut a big piece off because it's large. And it went a little over, that's okay. You could actually use fun foam. I've done that before and just cut a square to fit inside of there and then use your score tape to glue the foam tape down. That works great too. Got that one a little bit too long. There we go. And one more. Okay. There we go. I'm going to take the backing off. Now I'm going to center that one as well. That looks good. Okay, so then I went ahead and die cut a large doily to go on the front, and again that's this doily right here, and this is from that set of 4 doilies. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on. I think I'm going to glue this on top, and then I'm going to pop everything up. Okay, this is actually Thinking of You came from a stamp set by it's Graphic 45. It's one of the ones that matches the Botanical Tea paper collection, so I thought it was really pretty. So that Botanical Tea would be fabulous to make these cute little tea bag holders, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh, I think I might ink around this really quick. To stamp the Thinking of You, I did use some Stampin' Up! Ink, and I used crumb cake to match the ribbon. So there you have it. All right, and this is a circle die that I used to cut this out. And it fits perfect on there in the middle, and then I'm going to put that up on foam tape. Cute. All right, and then we're almost done. How fun is that? There's one. And one more, I think. I know I probably go overboard on the foam tape, but But well, can't help myself sometimes. Make sure you can't see it from the other side. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to put this right in the center. Make sure it's straight. There you go. Super cute. Now, do I want to add a butterfly? I think I might use these little, put one tiny little butterfly here. And then I think I'm going to put a little tiny bling for the dot on the eye because I can. Right? Can never have too much bling. All right, well, let's ink this little patootie here because it's going to bug me if I don't. And my handy dandy glue pen, and I found with little things like this, I put the glue on the item where I want it, and then I stick the butterfly down. These are itty bitty little dudes. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bling here for the butterfly. And I think, do I want to do a dot on the eye? Then I would feel funny not doing one there. I think I'm not going to do that now that I put a bling on there. See, changed my mind. Okay, so there's the front cover. And there's the inside. Now, if you want, you can add a little tag that says "For You" like I did on the first one. And what I did is I used my little paper piercer pokey thing here and poked a little hole, and then I have a piece of linen thread, and to get the linen thread through that little hole I use dental floss threaders, and I get these at Walgreens, Bartell's, any little drugstore, and they work great. I just thread it like that, and then this goes right through that itty bitty tiny hole. I know, how cool is this? See? Love it. Now I'm going to tie a knot at the top because I might want this one to dangle a little bit. There we go. Trim off the excess. And I'm going to put that on there. So we're going to go ahead and we have our cute little tea bag. Now you can write a little note here, or you can embellish these as much or as little as you want. But I think that one turned out pretty cute. So here's the others that I did. So there you go. That's my little project using the Gilded Lily paper collection. I used the 6x6 papers, leftovers that I had, and some of the cut aparts. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Bye.